Chapter 2. World Record for the Fastest Tryout Ever. At first, I watched through the gate. I was going to keep moving, but then I saw that there were other people down there close to the track hanging out, watching the practice, like moms and stuff. So I joined them. Well, I didn't sit with them, because that would have been weird, but I grabbed a seat on one of the other benches. My school didn't have a track team. Not that I would have tried out for it if it did. I was more into basketball. That was my sport, even though I'd never really played. Sometimes on my walk home, I would stop at the court and see if I could get a pickup game, but no one ever picked me. Mainly because the old heads didn't like running with kids my age. But I always had this feeling that if I could just get on, I'd be the next LeBron. But I never wanted to be the next, whoever the most famous runner is. I never even thought about it. I looked into the world record book, and it says some dude named Usain Bolt is the fastest, but I'd never heard of him. My dad never watched running on TV. Are there even any famous runners, like seriously? I never heard of none, but judging from the way these kids were stretching and jumping around on the track, some of them probably had. Okay, let's get some high knees, the coach was commanding. He was short and bald, but I could tell that his baldy didn't come from all of his hair falling out. He was one of those guys who shaved it. Actually, he was one of those guys who shaved all the hair on his face except his eyebrows, which wasn't a good look. He looked like a turtle with a chipped tooth, wearing a hoop earring and a black whistle around his neck. Up, up, up! There were boys and girls around my age, everybody dressed in shorts and a t-shirt, holding their arms out in front of them, doing a jump march kind of thing, slapping their knees into their hands. Come on, Sonny, it's only the second day of practice, and you're already slacking, the coach barked at the tallest boy out there. He was holding a clipboard and smacking it against his leg. Get 'em up! I sat with my feet spread apart so I could split the sunflower seed shells on the ground between them. The salt was making me so thirsty, but I couldn't stop eating them. On the track, the high knee things were followed by jumping jacks and some warm-up laps around the track, which seems like a really bad idea to me. I mean, why would you want to run warm-up? You'd already been tired before it's time to race. Duh. Then all the runners gathered around the turtle-faced coach. Listen up, he said. If you are on this track, you have to either already been a part of the defenders or you've been recruited to be a part of the defenders. He was talking to them like they had just joined the army or something. I'm sure you all know what it means, but in case you don't, it means that you're part of one of the best youth teams in the city. We are the people the top high schools come to for talent, and if you go to a good high school and do well on a good team, guess what? You might even get to college for free. Don't nobody go to college for free to run no races, I thought to myself, spitting a shell out. I hate when they get stuck in your tongue and you gotta do that spit flick thing. It's so annoying. A weird-looking kid. I can't really explain what he looked like. Well, let me try. You know how I said Mr. Charles looked like James Brown if James Brown were white? Well, this kid looked like a white boy if a white boy was black. Wait, that doesn't make sense. Let me start over. His skin was white, like the color white, and his hair was light brown, but his face looked like a black person's, like God forgot to put the brown in him. Wait, is that like Mr. Charles or not? Forget it. Anyway, the boy raised his hand. Yes, Lou, the coach said. Is it true you ran in the Olympics? The kid asked. Is it true that you didn't? The coach shot back, playing him out. The boy called Lou stood there like he just got slapped in the face by one of Charlotte Lee's rubber ducks. He didn't know what to do. He stammered, not sure what to say. Don't worry about what I've done. Worry about what you want to do. If you stick with me, I can get you there. The coach wiped spit from the corners of his mouth. Now, he said, looking down his roll sheet. Let's see what we can do with you newbies. Lou, Patina, Sonny, on the line. The three newbies hustled down to the end of the track. Lou, you're up first. 100-meter on the whistle, the coach directed. The weird-looking dude, Lou, decked out in his flyest gear, fresh Nike running shoes, and a full-body, skin-tight suit like a superhero. He wore a headband and a gold chain around his neck, and a diamond glinted in each ear. All the other runners stood off to the side as the coach put the whistle in his mouth. He held a stopwatch in the other hand. "Ready," he said through his teeth. Then he came a short squeak. Beep! And Lou took off. It was quick. This kid was really fast. And when he got to the end of the straightaway, a woman who was sitting on a bench on the other side of the track jumped up and squealed and clapped like this dude was some kind of celebrity or something. I was not impressed. Not enough to clap. Really, I was just happy something unboring was finally happening. But definitely impressed enough to stop sorting seeds in my mouth until he was done. "Nice job," the coach said as Lou trotted back over to the side like a pro. Like this was no big deal, and he knew it. He glanced over at me. I spit shells on the ground. The coach also called out a time and scribbled it down, but I didn't catch it. Next up was the big goofy-looking kid the coach called Sonny. He was the one getting yelled at when I first got there about not kicking his legs up high enough in the warm-up. To be honest, he didn't look like he could even walk in a straight line, so I figured this was going to be pretty funny. Sonny got into position, closed his eyes, and took slow, deep breaths. Then the coach blew the whistle, and off he went. I could tell he was pushing as hard as he could, but he just wasn't going nowhere. It was like he was running into the wind, even though it wasn't a windy day. Like his shoes weighed a ton, or his bones were heavy or something. Nobody cheered for him, and a few of the other kids even laughed. "We'll see who's laughing when we get to the mile," the coach barked at the snickering runners. They all cut out quick. Sonny loped back over and joined the group unfazed. He didn't even mind that he had run the slowest I had ever seen anyone run. His sprint was like a jog. My mother probably could have smoked him. Mr. Charles might even bumped him up, and he's like 1,000 years old. The coach gave Sonny a nod and then turned to the next person, a girl. Next up, Patina. The Patina girl was tall and sprang up and down on her toes, rolling her neck and shoulders, I guess to loosen up. Her hair was yanked back in a stubby ponytail with lots of frizz around the edges, and when the coach blew the whistle, Patina broke out in a flash, zooming down the track, definitely faster than Sonny, but not quite as fast as Lou. Still, I was impressed. I don't know a whole bunch of girls who can run that fast. Actually, I don't really know a whole bunch of girls who run at all. They always be trying to be cute in school, but I ain't mad about that. "Y'all vets better look out for this girl. She runs at 800 like it's a skip down the block," the coach said, giving Patina a high five. If anybody complimented me like that, I'd be trying hard not to smile, but would probably slip a little one in. But Patina, she just kept it cool and got back in line like it was nothing. I could tell she was no joke. After Lou, Sonny, and Patina ran, the coach told the other runners, the vets, to line up and show the newbies how it's done. So on it went, the whistle blowing, one by one, the boys and girls on the line, sprinting down the straightaway, each of their times being recorded. Some were faster than others. Actually, most of the vets were pretty fast, but nobody was faster than the pretty boy Lou. Nobody. And the coach kept saying stuff like, "Lou's still the one to beat." It was kind of pissing me off because, I don't know, it just made me think about this kid Brandon at school, who's always picked on me. Not even just me, though. He picked on a lot of people, and did nobody ever do nothing about it. They just said stupid stuff like, "Can't nobody beat him." Same kind of rah-rah this bowling bald head coach was cackling about this kid Lou. It's just, he was fast, but honestly, he wasn't that fast. When everybody had taken a turn, the coach started over and gave everybody a chance to give it another go to see if they could beat their first time. So Lou was up for another go. He did that same cocky swagger over to the starting line, did a few stretches, some jumps, and the lady on the other side of the track screamed again. The boy was just getting loose, and she was going off like he was doing something. The people around her looked at her like she was crazy, obviously annoyed. All of his teammates looked on. Some of them seemed to be bubbling with anticipation to see the mighty Lou run again, and others looked over it.